Hello everyone, and welcome back to another one of our monthly recaps. We've added some very solid stuff to the database this month. Very few of the new games we added require any sort of download at all, or only have some minor issues to keep in mind. So let's get right into it. Here are some of the highlights that we added to the Does It Play database in February. So far, Nintendo's own first-party physical releases have been nothing but excellent on Switch 2. And Mario Tennis Fever is no different. Both the European and American releases of the game have seen no bugs, errors, or crashes. The only minor issue we could find in the American version was one where the fever shot text would appear without the CPU actually performing a fever shot. This only ended up happening a handful of times, and in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing game-breaking. The game is another nice addition to the slowly growing Switch 2 games that are actually on the cartridge. We're always a big supporter of re-release collections like this. So many old games are not available to legally play on modern platforms, let alone preserved. So it is always a joy when we get a physical release like the Castlevania Advance Collection, which is mostly superb. The only little hiccups we encountered were two issues involving flickering menus, and an issue where transparent textures would become solid when opening the map. But those issues are very minor and were all found in Harmony of Dissonance. The rest of the games in this collection are pretty much flawless. Our tester did note one instance of in-game text saying lit jump instead of mid jump, but I think we can let that one slide. It's a complete collection that is a great way to play these old games in the modern age and will preserve them for decades to come. We sometimes like to look back at the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era just to ensure that all those games are actually playable. Many might assume that they are, but this was the generation where online requirements were introduced for physical media, and we have some games from the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 in our database that do in fact require a connection to the internet. Thankfully though, 3D.Game Heroes isn't one of them. All the main story content is here, including New Game Plus. Fair warning though, the game has some fluctuating frame rates that can especially pose a problem in the final dungeon, where the low frame rate can make precision inputs all the more frustrating. Still, all the game data is on the disc and it's a mostly enjoyable experience. Hopefully we'll get to see a remaster of this game someday. One of the most exciting releases this month was Yakuza Kiwami 3 Dark Ties. We've been able to test the European version, which was very solid all things considered. Given all the controversial decisions surrounding this release, the cast and the story changes especially, we have a dedicated video for this game. Speaking of additional video content, we also looked at the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remaster, as well as the hyper-charming Dungeons of Hinterberg. Both reviews are on our YouTube channel already, so check them out after this recap if you want to know how those disc builds turned out. Now, here's an odd one, Amber Alert Director's Cut, which we were able to test through our Patreon supporters. Thank you all very much. The Director's Cut is a Japanese-only physical release, but the disc comes with English language options and is overall a much more complete and stable disc build over the standard physical release that is available worldwide. This build still proves to have its own struggles though. QTEs will often freeze when using the counter button, subtitles will occasionally be cut off, and we're pretty sure that this door isn't opening the right direction, but we could be wrong about that. But like a lot of the games we have covered in this recap, a few hiccups aren't going to deter from an overall good disc build. It's worth importing if you're interested in owning a good version of the game. And let's end things by quickly covering Speedo Llama. This and Mario Tennis Fever are pretty much the best builds in this entire recap. Basically no issues were observed here, a little bit of lag when a lot of stuff is happening on screen aside, this is an excellent disc build for a quirky little game. Thank you very much to Fresh Brewed Games for this review copy. Because we get so many additional reports to our database every month, we won't have time to go over every single one of them. So for a full written report on these games, as well as the ones we couldn't fit in this video, you can check out our database for yourself at doesitplay.org. And if you don't want to miss any tests or just want to support our video creation efforts, our Patreon is the best place to do that. Click the link in the description to learn more. Which of these games did you pick up, or are you planning to pick up? and let us know which physical games releasing in March you would like to see us cover. And if you want to see more from us, like our Resident Evil 9 disc build analysis or future recaps, then subscribe to the channel. Alright, that is all. See you next month, everyone. Bye bye.